Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm looking at this Bitcoin futures chart. It's a 20 tick chart. Now, I trade the E-mini like most of y'all know. I don't trade Bitcoin, but I just want to show that this does work on all markets. You can trade price action on any market, 21 EMA just like usual. So 8 o'clock is around right here, which is when I would start trading in the morning. I start trading the E-mini at 8. So if you traded Bitcoin, this is what you'd see here around 8 o'clock here. So at 8 o'clock, you'd have all this price action up until this point here. Now, we got the overnight highs, overnight lows, just like normal. And starting off, we have this push up here. So we'd see this uptrend as we came in. And we have the small break and push to a new high. And then we attempt to reverse here. Now, on a bigger picture, we can tell this is one spike up here. So we can just draw this with one leg here. So one leg up, break, we push higher here. It just does one, it's basically just a first entry below the EMA. I see there's a tick higher there. That's really just one leg down on a bigger picture, just one leg down straight below the EMA, and then you don't get any kind of good higher low setup. It just, when it does tick lower, it closes all the way up here. And so when it does start taking off there's no good entries here, but when it does take off here, you can start to, copy this over and see a possible second leg up here. So we have this first leg up, break, second leg up, and then we start to get congestive around this area. We'd push up here, we'd start getting congestive here. We have this push down, push back up. We can get this range right here. And so this trade right here it's a breakout of this range. Most breakouts fail. You have a measured move in play, and also at this point, you'd have this uptrend drawn. You would be extending this after it takes off there, and then clearly it did hold on this uptrend. You get this bar closing back in here, closing above the trend line here. It's off the EMA. It just broke out. Most breakouts fail. Once again, you have that measured move in play. So you could draw this right here. You need a limit order because you wouldn't want to push it too far out of a range right here. A couple ticks doesn't matter, but you don't it'd be better than entering with a stop, pushing it that far out. It does, of course, make it here, but I'd like to enter with a limit order on something like that. Just to not push it too far out. Now we push up here, we reach that measured move around the overnight high area. We just keep going higher here. We don't quite reach the EMA on these corrections here. We push up, we continue in this uptrend. You can extend it to right off that low after it takes off from there. And then so we have this uptrend, and then we kind of have this. It looks like one leg down, and it is one leg down on a big picture, but price action forms. The price action levels get bigger over time. So at first you'd see this as two legs down here. So you'd have this push down, and then a break, and a second push down. They're clearly related to each other. They're clearly separated. But on a bigger picture, you would play that as one leg down if it comes into play. And so at this point, we have a couple attempts down. We bottom out here. We make this, we clearly start finding resistance here before we reach the overnight high level. And then we spike above the EMA. So that's a sign that we're having a successful breakout. And so there is a to the tick failed second entry. So I really just view this as a higher low. That's not a very significant reversal pattern. It's just a higher low. But this is a sign of a successful breakout. You have a couple attempts trying to reach the overnight high, and you can't reach it there. It clearly finds resistance there. And you'd have this push up here. You can draw this as a measured move here. So you'd push, you draw this little small trend up. You have a break, and then it holds above the EMA here. It does close back below, but it spiked up here, and then it did close back close back above with this bar here. And so you could expect a possible measured move here. And then on this entry, this higher low entry, let me get that perfect. You could easily go for 1 to 2 on this because you have plenty of room to that measured move, and you're not into any significant resistance. Like over here, you had that measured move in play, but you're into this resistance that you don't want to cut through. Here, you're not in a range here. It's just going past a high with this measured move in play, so you can easily go 1 to 2 on that. And so you have this uptrend, break, you push up to a new high. So once again, uptrend, break, you had that first attempt higher, second attempt higher, and then on a bigger picture, you would view that as one leg up. Price action levels get bigger as time goes on. So uptrend, break, new high, and then we correct down to the EMA. That's just a first entry. As soon as the uptrend has a break and a new high, you can expect a possible reversal, so you don't want to take a first entry just because the EMA holds on to it. So first entry long, second entry long. I don't think there's any reason to go short here. It's just the EMA had held every single bar so far. And even on that bar where it ticked higher and seems to trap lower, it still didn't get below the EMA there. So that's not an entry I would want to take. Now, we push lower here, and when it closes below like that, you would get this measured move here. So you would draw that down, and then you'd put it here once it starts kind of going lower, and you can tell that that's the swing area. If you wanted to, you could enter this with a limit order after you get this close below with this good bar here. But yeah, you wouldn't be filled. If you entered on a limit order with this, you would not be filled. It clearly just goes straight down, and then you would still want to keep it within that measured move here, which is why you wouldn't want to enter like way down here, because you have that measured move in play. So if you can get in with a limit order, that does look like a good trade, but clearly in this case you don't. But that doesn't mean it's not going to fill you every time. Sometimes you will get filled on these limit order trades. So we push lower here. We can start to see that there's this downtrend starting to form. So we're going into this downtrend here. We're clearly getting, after we reached that this trend line low right here, we clearly started going sideways. And then notice here we have this first entry long, second entry long, failure. And so it's below the EMA, it's closing below the EMA. It's a breakout of this range right here. Most breakouts fail, and to me this looks like a good trade here, because once again you broke out of the overnight high. When you break out of the overnight high, it's a range, so most breakouts fail, kind of like how most breakouts fail, you know, this small range right here, this small range right here. It's the same on these bigger ranges, so we can expect a possible larger reversal down, which would help give momentum for a trade like this, where you have a breakout of this smaller range here. First entry long, second entry long, failure. You would just need to get out before this congestion right here, these lows right here. So this looks pretty good right here. You would just need a limit order, of course, which, you know, that's, you know, you might not have gotten filled on that if you took it like that, but, you know, sometimes that happens. It's just part of trading. Sometimes you won't get filled on a few limit order trades in a row, but either way. So we start pushing down here. We have this downtrend break. We push down to a new low. It didn't confirm off of it didn't have a third bounce confirming, but that's clearly how it played out here. We had this downtrend break, we push down to a new low, and then we have this breakout of the lows. We push back higher here. I wouldn't want to enter this. This is just one leg down here, and like here, yeah, you could say, isn't there just one leg up? That's true, but you have this failed second entry on the other direction. Here, it's just one leg down. You don't want to enter that. Even though this downtrend has a break, new low, it just got really choppy. It's only one leg to a new low. This resistance didn't hold very well. And it's not like it's been chopping through the EMA to where you'd want to enter into it, especially right after a reversal. So, because when the EMA has been getting chopped straight through, that means it's weaker and it's, you know, okay to enter into it, and that has not been happening, so you don't want to do that here. But it does push higher here. Then here you get this, you know, it breaks out again. We push lower. There's absolutely no room to take that trade, but it does push lower here. And then once it pushes down here, we can start to get this bigger downtrend here. And so let me just extend that here. So we're going into this downtrend here. We have this breakout again, breakout, pullback. Of course, there's no good entry here. It just gets really choppy. These huge bars, no good signal bar. You don't want to enter on stuff like that. But we push lower here, we correct again. We don't quite reach the EMA on either of these attempts, you know, here, but you would want it to reach the EMA. It just plummets straight down. You get to the overnight high at this point. So just like this, uptrend, break, new high, and then we retested the overnight high. So you could expect a possible fade. You could look for, you know, entries to hold onto the overnight high here. Of course, you need to take them in accordance with this downtrend. You don't want to be entering super low inside of a downtrend. But we correct higher, we get this push higher, push straight back below. Prices clearly, you know, so the bulls want to break out, the bears want to fade. And it's kind of just a choppy area. There's really no good entries in this area. Like here, you don't want to take this. This isn't off of any clear resistance here. And notice how we just have this leg up, we break, we can copy this over. Clearly there's a couple legs up here, and then it almost tries to retest this area from when we start pushing higher, and then it has that second leg up, and then that's where it gets choppy at the end of that second leg here. And so there's really no other good trades for this day. It's just gets choppy here, you break out. I can draw this as a range right here. It's clearly in this range. It breaks out. Most breakouts fail. You're clearly just straight down. You would really want to see something push back and hold above, but you don't get that. It just goes straight higher here. So Yeah, I just thought I'd make this video to show that price action does work on all markets and also all time frames. I can make another video on different time frames as well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful in some way, and I'll see y'all next time.